What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV. We have the Nuu G5 phone. This is a GSM phone. It comes unlocked. It's $150. So, you know, it's not going to be this flagship phone. It's a budget phone. So keep that in mind with everything that we see on today's phone. So this is what the phone looks like real quick. I already opened it up, set it up. It's plastic on the back, fingerprint sensor right there. You got your cameras right there, 4 cameras right there, flash. At the bottom, you have your USB-C, you have your headphone jack, and then you have your speaker. On the side, you have your power button and your volume up and down. Left side, we don't have any buttons, but you do have your SIM card and also where you'll keep your micro SD card. So it does have micro SD card expansion. And then that's pretty much it. I'll show you real quick with the screen on. That's what the screen looks like. It is a 720p plus display. So it is HD, but it's not full HD or 2K. Again, $150. So that's kind of what you'd expect at that point. The screen to body ratio is actually 91%. So you can get 91% screen versus the body. Fairly, I mean, there's some bezels on there, don't get me wrong, but I mean, for $150, it's pretty good, especially for the bezels that you get. Even though it's plastic, it feels pretty good in your hand. It doesn't feel like it's gonna fall or anything. The display itself is 6.55 inches. You get 64 gigs of storage, 4 gigabytes of RAM. You do have the micro SD card expansion, fingerprint sensor. It runs Android 10. 5,000 milliamp battery inside, so very, very large battery inside. It has a MediaTek processor inside, which, you know, they're not the, performance-wise, they're not the best processors, but it'll get the job done for the most part in simple tasks and things like that. So let's see what else comes inside the box here. You get your charger with USB-C cable, which is soon to become a very rare occurrence with phones. So USB-C on one end, USB-A on the other, and that's a charging brick for you with the charger. You get headphones, another rare occurrence here, and these plug into the headphone jack at the bottom here. So you'll get a nice headphone jack to plug all that in there. It does come with a case. The case is obviously not super protective, but since this isn't really a super popular phone like an iPhone or a Galaxy phone, sometimes it's going to be hard and difficult to find cases for this. So at least this comes with a case for you to take hold, SIM card ejector tool, and then lastly you get some stickers and a quick start guide. All right, so let's take a closer look. The nice thing about this phone is even though it's a budget phone, there's not a lot of apps installed on it, like crapware apps on here, which is a beautiful thing because of the fact that sometimes you get these phones and there is like a lot of apps installed. This one really doesn't have anything. I installed a few apps. I installed Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And then the only other apps on here installed were the Google apps. And that's pretty much it. A live support app. That's in a SIM toolkit. That's it. Nothing, a sound recorder. Again, not that many apps. This is literally all the apps. There's no folders or anything in here. And then this is the home screens. So you swipe up and down on to see all your apps. You swipe over from the left to the right and you have the Google experience. So you have all your Google News and all that stuff. I love that, very clean. Swipe down, you have your quick toggles, which this looks just like complete vanilla Android. Again, I don't mind it. I know some people want like tons of tweaks and things like that, but it's nice sometimes to have that super clean experience on here. Now, performance, it's already gotten a couple updates. I got 2 updates right off the bat. But let's talk about performance of the fingerprint sensor first. So fingerprint sensor, it works. I mean, it's pretty quick. So, it does the job with that. So no problems with any of that stuff. Let's go into the settings next, just to show you some of the settings we have in here. Obviously I have it on dark mode. You can turn that on or off. So I love having dark mode on here. It makes it a little bit easier to see on the phone. When you're using it, you can go in here, we can go into display, see if you can turn on dark theme, change your wallpaper. So we'll come in here real quick, show you some of the wallpapers, and nothing crazy. Ooh, black, red, clouds. So they got a fair amount of wallpapers in here too. We'll set that one, a nice purplish color. We'll do home and lock screen on there. Take the back button, change the font sizes. Screen color mode, you can change it to standard or vivid. I usually like vivid, cool color, customize. I'll change it to vivid. Keep it there. Set a screensaver. Lock screen display, you can show just some of your notifications or all of your notifications. What else we got in here? We have the navigation bar. So you can do virtual keys, which is what I have, the return, desktop, and multitask buttons on there, which is basically home, back, and recent apps. You can do gesture notifications if you want that. You can also switch these buttons around, you can see. I like that. I like putting the back button on the right. Gesture navigations, that's like when you swipe up. I'll show you real quick with that. So you swipe up and hold to bring up your recent apps. You swipe from the right to the left to go back. So, and swipe up to go home. I'm not a huge fan of the gestures, so I'm going to go back to the virtual keys. And you can also hide your navigation bar actually as well. So if you don't want to see that, you can do that. So I'll bring that down. You can see I don't have it. And then I would swipe up when I want to see it. That's a nice little tweak to have in there. You don't see that in a lot of other. You can also change the background color. So if I wanted that to be like a blue or a pink, well, we set it to pink. Why not? Just keep it there. And then we got Face ID on here. So if I want to do Face Unlock, I can set that up real quick. Here we go. Take your time, baby. Only doing a video. There we go. I can now unlock this with my face. Cool. You got the fingerprint in here. And within the fingerprint, I can add another fingerprint if I want, obviously. You got your sounds in here, so you want to change any of that stuff. Smart Touch, which is, let's see, turn this on. Oh, so this is going to be like if you want your lock screen, you can do long presses and single clicks and double press to go to the home screen. So different kind of customizations in here. It's kind of nice within here. So you can see if I double tap, I can go to the control center or take a screenshot or go to the recent app. So that's kind of cool, all that stuff. If you turn on Smart Touch. And then that's Dura Speed actually as well. You can see switch on to allow apps to run in the background. So if you want your phone, if it's sluggish a little bit, you can turn this off and you won't have apps running in the background. You can have some apps run in the background that you downloaded. And then system, you can go in here and check for updates. Actually, updates is going to be down. About phone, wireless update. I don't know why they call it that. We'll check for an update just to see if I have one. And it says I'm up to date. So I already had 2 updates, like I said. So let's check out, since you saw the settings, let's go into the sound next. We'll open up YouTube here, bring up Greggles TV, bring up my latest video at the time of making this video.
Welcome to Greggles TV Daily. In today's episode, we have news of all about LG possibly exiting the smartphone business. We have information about
single firing speaker, super tinny, speaker's awful. It's really bad. But you do have headphone jack to improve the sound, or Bluetooth if you want to do that. So whatever. But the sound is awful.
Let's jump into that.
The other thing I wanted to say is, in terms of, let me go back here just so we can see. I think one thing I noticed, let's see if it holds true on the video, is that when you're looking at videos, you can see it gets pretty dark. The viewing angles are not wonderful on this. They get pretty dark, but I mean, most of the time you're gonna be looking at straight on. So at that point, it's fine. The other thing about the display too, that's pretty nice actually, is that even though it's 720p, it's pretty clear and it's definitely bright. You can see I have it really, really low right now, but I can turn this up really bright. I mean, I don't know, maybe you can't tell from the camera, but it gets very bright. Brightness is great. The quality of the display, I'm very pleased with. It's just the angles aren't that great. and the sound is awful. Performance-wise, it's okay. I mean, like when we go into like stuff here, you see it loads up. It takes a few seconds longer than maybe something else. But I mean, in terms of like just using this, it's okay. It's not awful. Like I said, it's decent. I think, you know, if this is your first smartphone, or it's a phone that, you know, for your parents or something, or a kid, I think they'll be decently happy with it. It's not amazing, like I said, but it'll get the job done in a pinch. You make phone calls, obviously. It doesn't have 5G, but that to me is not a big deal. Performance, again, it's okay. It's not awful, but it's not amazing either. So performance, just be prepared that if you do want to do decent performance on here, it's just going to run, you know, what other word can I say but okay. So let's see, not now. Let's play a video and just show you that you can, if you want, you can run 2 apps, and I'm running 2 apps right now. So I've got Twitter on one side and YouTube on the other. It's probably a bad screen because it looks like a tiny little screen. So let's fast forward a little bit on here. There we go. So you got me on there, and then you got Twitter. So, you know, you can multitask and it runs pretty good. Make this bigger or smaller. So there you go. Not too bad with multi-screen and stuff like that. The cameras, obviously we've got cameras on the front and on the back. So let's check out some samples of videos and photos that I took with the front and the back cameras. Here's the back camera on the new G5 camera. So you get an idea what it looks like, sounds like, all of that. 150 bucks. How does this look for that amount? Let me know in the comments down below. Here's the front camera and the back camera. They only do full HD, aka 1080p video. You're not going to get 4K video on the back and 1080 on the front. It's just 1080 on the back and the front for this. So keep that in mind. If you're looking for a 4K camera, you might want to look elsewhere. But again, it's only 150 bucks. So the new G5 for 150 bucks, it's decent. I like the clean interface in terms of the software. It runs basic Android. I like the quality of the display. Even though it's a 720p plus display, it does get nice and bright. I like the fact that it has Android 10 on it, so I can do dark mode and get some of the latest Android features on here. The cameras are okay, speakers are bad. I like that it has a headphone jack. I like that it has external storage, so I can add more storage if need be without having to break the bank in terms of, you know, having to buy a phone with more storage. So overall, I mean, if you with a pretty modern design, you know, this is not too bad of a phone. So if you want to pick it up, I'll link it down below. You can pick it up on Amazon. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys down the road. Peace.